Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tech Sports TV. I'm your host, and this is my little puppy dog here again. She's always by my side. And today, uh, I'm gonna be asking a very, very difficult question. Should we trade Watson? Yes. Should we trade Watson? I know it's for a lot of y'all. It's a very easy question. It's either no or yes. No, because he's a super awesome quarterback, or yes, because he wants to go. This place is a dumpster fire, and yada yada. Well, again, it's not really simple. It's not like Harden, where it was a very simple. Should, should we trade James Harden last year? Yes, 100% yes. No doubt about it. Okay. We When it comes to Watson, I think we should sit there and weigh the pros and cons of trading him. One of the biggest cons of trading Deshaun Watson would be, for a lot of people, it'd be the breaking point, because you just lost a franchise quarterback, and for most people, this is the first true franchise quarterback, and for most people, it's the best quarterback the Texans have ever had, which is actually more for everyone. So trading him would be a breaking point for a lot of Texans fans, and they probably would move on from the Texans, and the Texans could potentially lose a large part of their fan base. That's one of the biggest cons of trading him. Uh, but then you got the cons of keeping him. He doesn't want to play with us anymore. He's demanding a trade. I doubt it's going to be the same as the Harden situation, where people are going to hate him and demand he leave. But he doesn't want to play here anymore. So that, like I said, but then you go into, if we trade him, we don't have a quarterback. He's the only quarterback on the active roster. So if we trade him, we got to get someone in free agency. We got to get a quarterback back in the trade. It's not a super easy question, as we trade him, and then we're out of a quarterback. We have no quarterback. We need to get someone back to play quarterback, and then we need to get someone, or we need to get someone in free agency, or we need to get a decent enough draft pick so we can draft a quarterback. Not exactly a super easy choice. So it's not even like we trade him and then we at least have someone to. No, we don't have anyone after him. He's the only quarterback on the active roster. But again, if he sits out this year, we're in the same situation. We have no quarterback. He could be fine for all the games that he sits out. It don't matter if he eats it up and he continues to sit out. If he really wants to sit out this year, he's going to sit out this year. And so either way, we'd end up in a same situation. So what are the pros of both situations then? Well, if we keep Watson, at least for this year, and then trade him this year, and then trade him the next year, it'll be more fans will be willing to accept the trade, the giving him up. But if you don't trade him even then, and we might be able to build a team around him. But the question is, even if we do end up building a great team around him, will he want to play with us still? Just because we build a team around him doesn't mean he's going to want to play. He might still want to leave. It's not going to guarantee anything. It's not going to guarantee him wanting to stay. It's not going to guarantee him playing in Houston. So is that a risk that people are willing to take? So far, it seems like that's a risk that this organization is willing to take. But again, the pros of trading him is, if we get a quarterback back and we get a few draft picks, we'll actually have some draft picks, because we don't have a draft pick this one. We won't be able to do any rebuilding this year. The rebuilding will have to be next year, because guess what? No draft picks. We don't have a single draft pick up until the third round. First round we got nothing. Second round we got nothing. Third round, okay, we got something, and then we'll be able to draft maybe mediocre players. And it's so it's a really tough situation. Uh, it really is. So should we trade Watson? Should we trade him for the draft picks now? Get some draft picks now. Start a rebuilding now. Get a quarterback as soon as we can, or maybe risk going without a quarterback, or keep him with the risk of him sitting out and having no quarterback anyways, and having to rebuild a year later around this quarterback, and with the risk of him still not wanting to be here and him being traded anyways. Risk, but again, at the same time, risk losing part of your fan base, but risk part of your fan base to start an earlier rebuild to maybe get good again, or risk having to take forever on the rebuild and losing Deshaun Watson anyways. Like I said, this is not exactly the same thing as James Harden needing to be traded. It's more of a deeper question. I think when it comes to sports-wise to get good as soon as possible, I think he should be traded because we could rebuild sooner. I know it's going to be very hard to get another good quarterback, but I'm sure we'll be able to find a good quarterback again eventually. We just need to build. And again, if it's not a great quarterback, it doesn't matter. As you see, if we don't have a team around him, it don't matter how good the quarterback is. We could have Deshaun Watson, but if the team ain't good, we ain't gonna win. We need to get a good team, and then we can put a normal quarterback, an average quarterback back there, and he'll become a great quarterback. You get a good O line, and it becomes great. We get a great defense, and we become a lot better. That's what we need to do. But we need to. It seems like we need to start all over though, if we want to do it. Because if we keep him, we may still lose Watson. We may still be playing this year without a real quarterback because Watson might be sitting out. We may just be doing everything that we will be doing. We might be able to do this year, but a whole year later or two later. So it's the Texans. So when it comes to maximizing the chances of us being good as soon as possible, trading Deshaun Watson seems to be the better option. But at the same time, the team, it's not just a team trying to be good, it's also a business. Okay, depending on how long this potential rebuild could take, if you trade Deshaun Watson, you're going to lose a lot of the fan base. And yes, Houston is known for being extremely loyal, but they're not unknown for running a team out. They did run the Houston Oilers out, so it's possible that they could do it to the Houston Texans as well. There's the possibility of, if they trade Deshaun Watson, they could lose a large part of the fan base. That would cause them to lose a whole lot of money, which is something that a lot of teams really, I'm not sure they can afford right now, considering, well, a lot of teams have lost money due to, you know what, the pandemic. And Texas is reopening. They're probably going to be able to, well, make money again. But if they're not able, they need to make back the money they lost from last year, as well as make a profit this year in order for them to want to stay. And the possibility of more profits further on. So if they lose a large part of the fan base and they don't make enough money, especially compared to, let's say, other teams, even other bad teams, it seems unlikely that they would be willing. Let's say they're looking at a huge financial loss here. So it's it's a tough decision for them to make as well. So do they want to risk eating up potential fan base losses, which they could gain more fan base if they end up being good again and end up being extremely successful later on because of this rebuild? Or do they want to try to save it and make the rebuild last even longer? I think the right move would be to trade him, but I don't know if enough Texans here believe trading him is the right option for it to be a viable thing for them to do. So, what they might end up doing, which seems to be the best option in their mind, which is something that someone who is really, really stupid most of the time said, but it's probably one of the only smart things he has ever said. This one idiot said, keep Watson, and then try to find a way to blame this this upcoming year's failure, with him potentially sitting out and him demanding trades, on Watson, and show that he really doesn't want to stay. Try to make it seem like the Texans did everything they could to keep him, and then trade him, and then hopefully keep as much of the fan base as possible that way. That seems to be the most likely option that they're going to go with. And it really does make sense. And like I said, I think it's best to trade him. But it seems like they're might trade him next year. Try to get a lot of draft picks, try to rebuild, get this new young team up and coming. I wonder what quarterback they might be looking at for the future 2022 draft. But it's, no matter what, though, it seems like Texans are going to be sucky this year. It's going to be it's going to be very, very hard to be a Texans fan. And it's been very, very difficult to be one. Especially since this more recent offseason. Losing JJ Watt and then not doing enough to keep Watson. He already once gone. I don't think we can keep him. And yeah, that's the video. It's not well detailed. I think they should trade Deshaun Watson this year because it will get them a good team as soon as possible. It will start the rebuild a lot earlier. But it seems like the smartest move, which they will do, would be trading him next year after keeping him this year and showing that the team can't keep him and Watson really wants to go. And I know a lot of people support Watson leaving. It's not going to be the same situation where people are going to be hating on James Harden. People are going to support Watson as he leaves, just like we're supporting JJ Watt for wanting to leave and as he's leaving. And it's just, it seems like it potentially, the fact that we're holding on to it as well could also lead to a factor, because not to a player who might hate the team more than Watson at the time of the trade, because they're trying their best, they're strangleholding and keeping Watson hostage, or like someone says, and then that may not look good on the Texans for players who want to go through the Texans. So it's BS. It's going to be an interesting situation. I say trade him now. Texans think the smarter move is to trade him. Possibly this might be what they're doing, trading him next year. This is their potential plan. Not saying it is their plan. They don't want to, or they're actually are trying to keep Watson. They're not ready to give up on him just yet. Either way, it's going to be interesting as well, because if we do decide to trade him, it's not like we have all the it's not like we have all the leverage on the trading, because he has no trade clause. If he don't want to go to that team, he can levy the no trade clause and just not go. So he has all the leverage on the trades too. So it will be interesting. I think we should listen to Watson. We should try to get what we can from him, trade him, and then start an early rebuild, because his value could only go down if he refuses to play and he doesn't want to go anywhere else. So if we want to get the most we can out of him, it'd be trading him now. That's my opinion. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think down. I know I'm not super bouncy excited in this one, because I'm talking about trading one of our best players of all time. But I think, should we trade Deshaun Watson? I think the answer is yes. I put a question in the title. I gotta answer it. It's not going to be clickbait where you just weigh the pros and cons. But I'm going through the thought process, and I think we should, and I think we should do it now, because the longer we wait, the longer he holds out, the more leverage he has, and the more leverage other teams have. They already have a lot of leverage because we don't have a quarterback behind him. But the longer we wait, the lower his trade value is going to be. And that's all I got to say. That's all I hope everything goes well for the Texans. I hope everything goes well for Watson. And I hope everything goes well for Hopkins and J.J. Watt. And we'll see where everything goes. Do y'all think Watson should be traded? If so, please give your reasoning down below. I would like to see why you think he should be or shouldn't be traded. This is my thought process. This is why I think he should be traded. I think he should be traded this year because the risk of keeping him, I think, is far too great. He may not play in it, and it would make this team a bad team for far longer than it would if we trade him now. So I think we should trade him now. And next, if you don't think so, please comment and explain why. If you do think he should be traded, please comment and explain why you think he should be traded. If I didn't go over it over here, and I would just like, this is just a topic that I would love to see people comment on, and I would love to read what y'all think about it. I'm being serious here. I want to see other people's opinions on this specific subject. I just want to see what other people think. I want to see what other real fans think. I don't want to see what a bunch of corporations think. I don't want to know what I don't care what ESPN thinks. I don't care what these people with lots of money think. I want to hear what actual fans of these teams think. Houstonians, people who live in Houston, people who cheer for the Texans, people who cheer for Houston teams. I want to hear what y'all think. I could care less what people of other fans think. I could care less of what people of big corporations think. I want to hear real opinions from real people. So, if you're watching, please comment what you think. Lucky Lag, maybe. I'm looking. Who else? Hatch Joe's McGee. You're a Houston fan. All the Spider Row, H-Town, the Press Texans fan. I would like to hear what y'all think about this down below, and this is the end of the video. And please like, comment, share this video so I can get other people's opinions. I want to so they can comment their opinions for me to read about. And please subscribe. I am 4 subscribers away from reaching the 250 mark. 4 subscribers. So please subscribe. Help me reach that 250 mark as well. Just 4 away. And I guess I'll see y'all next time I make my video, whenever that might be.